Hi guys, Matt Wroblewski here. Just making a quick deck profile because I went top 8 at a 114 person tournament today hosted by the side deck. I played Spright Goes On an Adventure, and it was a remote duel and included 7 rounds. I went with 5 wins, 1 draw, and 1 loss. My only draw was to Cybers, and my only loss was to Tri Brigade Spright, which I played 4 mirror matches. I can go quickly over the decks that I played. I played one Dino round 1, Despia round 2, Spright Evil Twin round 3, Code Talker round 4, which was my draw. It was against one of the team members of Team APS. Um, then Pure Spright, I won that. Round 6, I played against Tri Brigade Spright, which I think is actually low key a really good option to play right now. The reason being that Revolt beats Dark Ruler no more. So the meta is shifting toward board breakers, and I think still being able to play Spright, which is the best deck right now, and have a way to consistently beat Dark Ruler no more is super powerful. So I ended up that was my only loss. And then I beat Spright, Pure Spright, round 7 in order to secure my top 8 finish, which I actually placed 7th. Um, and yeah, so that's how I did. I'll go through the deck really quickly. So I'll put these here. And for the main deck, we went ahead and played the adventure stuff. All of these cards are really insane. While we still have them at max power, we might as well play them. I opted to play this because Imperm is actually really, really powerful versus Spright. If you Imperm Gigantic, usually the average Spright deck can't stop that play. Like it's suboptimal to play around Imperm. They always go for red. If you open red or carrot, then you can play around both, but usually they don't, and that makes it to where you don't get to go for your frog plays if you get impermed on gigantic, and then your board's really weak. And so this helps reinforce you against imperm. And also besides that, a lot of people are playing decks now that play 2 or more hand traps, can open 2 or more hand traps consistently, which 2 or more hand traps beats this deck usually if you're not on the right stuff. So this stuff is really helpful, and it just helps grind games. And there's a lot of other reasons to play it, but I think that's the main reason is to beat Imperm as well as to beat um, all of the decks where people are trying to consistently open 2 hand traps to beat this deck. Well, this tilts the odds in your favor. Foolish Burial, so a consistency card to help you get to the adventure stuff more frequently. And then triple Sprite Starter, standard. Triple Blue, standard. Triple Jet, and then 1 carrot, 1 red. We're playing a hybrid variant, so we're just going to play 1 red and 1 carrot, pretty standard. Um, Triple Prosperity, super important. I was able to get top 8 2 weeks ago playing Punk Sprite at the St. Louis Regional, or sorry, not top 8, but top 16. And I contribute a lot of my success to Prosperity. Prosperity is insane in this deck, being able to dig to the adventure stuff if you need it, to dig to another level 2 if you need it. Just really, really good. Prosperity is great. And if you um, you get full combo and you don't get disrupted at the end of your combo, you can just go and add a hand trap, which is really good. Or you can also dig to the um, Artifact Sanctum and make those plays when you're going first, game 2 or game 3, which is really good. Um, then of course we play these. They're you know um, allow us to set us up for our win con, which is Swap Frog. But in this deck, you don't rely as much on Swap Frog. You rely more on Griffin. Griffin's really good because it allows you to like not play into your opponent's stuff as much. Like you don't even mind when you don't see the Spright stuff. If you have hand traps in the adventure engine, it's really nice because people are playing so many hand traps. Just going into the adventure play uh, doesn't interact with most hand traps besides Ogre. And so just having that and then passing turn really makes people mad. I literally beat someone because they opened Valor Nib, and those were dead cards because I just went for an adventurer play with hand traps and then just beat them with my follow up without ever playing into any of those cards. Um, really, really strong. But these cards are still really good. They give you really good follow up. And yeah, Toad is a nice win condition. Call by the Grave, it doubles as a going second card, and it's, of course, really good going first. The best hand trap in the format, triple imperm, really, really solid. Insane versus the mirror match, and just a great card all around. Triple Ash, the second best hand trap to play because it's generic and it's just really, really solid. DD Crow, insane right now. Insane versus the mirror, insane versus tier, really great versus branded in those variants. So just a really solid choice right now. Against road decks, it's pretty bad, but it's good versus everything else. Ogre, absolutely insane in the mirror, not so good everywhere else, but it's a decent card to have. Valor, probably the weakest of the bunch. It's not that great versus the mirror match, but it's like good enough to merit an inclusion. Like it's just generic enough that you can play it. But I sided this out a lot in order to play like, Fit Dark Ruler No More and Board Breakers, like other impactful cards going second, and you didn't want to sign out too much consistency cards. Valor's a good card to pull out. And then the bricks, we played Smashers, Draco back, really nice, that you have access to both of these, which allows you to beat floodgates really easily. Really, really helpful. Felt very, very safe having both of these. Like you don't have to concern yourself with, you know, potentially losing Draco back so early, or like committing it early to an equip by discarding it, and then being scared that they're gonna like lava golem your token, and then it's gonna, go to the grave, and then you know, get hit with skill drain or something. Like that happened to me the week before at a remote duel regional, and that's not fun. But by having both of these, it gives you the ability to play through, you know, floodgates really easily, so you don't have to worry about anything. And like even if your opponent goes like anti-spell in your draw step, like you can chain starter and then resolve summoning blue, adding this, and then there you go, you can out it, and then go Dark Ruler No More and just win. Um, so really strong. Really like those cards. Yeah, really happy that I played Adventure. I think gave me a big edge in the mirror. Again, I played 4 mirrors, and I think the Adventure stuff was crucial for me getting the better of it. So on to the extra deck. I play one Almirage. This card is absolutely mandatory in this version because by playing the adventure stuff, it's a little brickier. So sometimes you'll just see one level 2, and this allows you to play. And I was able to play through someone's entire board in the mirror, and just because I had Ronin and Foolish in hand, I was able to, after playing through everything they had, I was able to win that game because I could just go Foolish for swap, uh, go into Almirage with Ronin, and then summon back Ronin, um, go into Elf, and then start making plays, and there was nothing they could do. And then you can go into Dark plays and summon back their um, like their Spright Blue and make play. So Almirage, absolutely insane. Really great card. Totally awesome. The win condition for the deck. 2 Gigantic, that's all you need. 2 Elf. You could play a third one of this. I would. I'll tell you what I would cut. IP doesn't really come up, but it's nice to have. You have enough space in this extra deck. Unless you're playing like the punk version or something, you definitely have enough space. So I think IP is totally fine to like increase the ceiling a little bit. Dark, absolutely necessary. This card's insane. Definitely won me a lot of games, especially in the mirror. This is huge. This is the most popular deck right now, so you have to play Dark. That's mandatory. Celine, just to extend the ceiling a little bit more and give me more playability going second. You could totally cut this. Didn't come up once. Nightmare Unicorn. I would never cut this. It didn't come up a ton, but it's just a really nice card to have. It outs Underworld Goddess. Outs a lot of stuff. It's a really good card. I would never cut that. Access Code Talker. Yep, it's Win condition going second. Cat Shark could totally cut that. Totally a flex spot. I think the biggest flex spots are Celine and Cat Shark. I didn't use this once either. There was a spot that I could have used this and it would have allowed me to close the game out, but I forgot I even had it in my extra deck. Like I just added it because I had space and was like, why not? And it's like the only card that I haven't been playing with a ton, so I kind of blanked on it. But I had the game completely closed out, so I didn't even need it. But it could have ended the game immediately, but it went on for one more turn, but I just negated their entire turn. Sky Cavalry, I think this card's super neat. See some people not play it, but I think that's crazy. It's just the most reliable way to go into Zeus because, if your opponent has several monsters that are 2,500, larger monsters and they're in attack position, you can't just go for Gigantic and attack into them. So this allows you to play, and there's some cheeky plays that you can also make with it. So I really liked it. And then Zeus is huge. Allowed me to turn around some games that I shouldn't have won otherwise. So yeah, the extra deck is perfect. I think you could play a third elf. That would feel good. It doesn't come up that often. It may have came up once today, but that's more than I can say for Shark, and that's more than I can say for Celine. And then Celine, you could cut this for, say, Elf, and then Celine, you could cut this for just a flex spot, utility, something that you feel would come up that you're scared of, like Floodgates or something. You can play Underworld Goddess or something. So there's different options there, but yeah, otherwise really happy with my extra deck. And last but not least, I played the Scythe package in my extra deck. 5 is about right. You could play 6, but it's a lot considering you're only playing one Scythe. So if you draw this in your hand or you see multiples of this, it's bad. And you want to play triple Trap Trick instead of triple Sanctum because you only have the one Scythe. So if you see like multiples, you want to be able to have something else to go on. You don't want to see multiple Sanctums. It's better to see another Trap Trick because this can get you into Imperm, and then that makes this still a live card. It's still a negation. This was absolutely insane. Anytime I saw this, I knew I was winning. Definitely the strongest win condition in the game. I would play this again and again. I would consider even playing the 6 Artifact Sanctum since my main deck is at 45. If I was at 40 flat, then 5 is definitely fine, but as strong as this is, you might even consider 6. The only downside is, again, you're only playing the one Scythe, so if you open this in your hand, that's really bad. But, having 5 and 1, that was a really good combination for me. I can't complain. Red Reboot, God card, have to play that. 2 Lightning Storm, I didn't play any back row decks, so this didn't come up, but in theory, really strong versus that. Really good versus Despia. Evenly matched. This card's absolutely insane. So good versus Tier. So good versus just Rogue. Definitely play this card. Totally worth it. It's, one of the most powerful cards that you can play on the side. And then Triple Dark Ruler No More. Probably the best side card right now. Very good argument for playing it in the main, but it's, absolutely insane. Helped me win lots of mirror matches. And so that's the entire side deck. Just nothing too crazy. Just playing the most powerful cards going first and the most powerful cards going second. So that's the entire deck. Thank you so much for watching, and please feel free to leave any comments below. I'm happy to answer any questions. And yeah, this is my second top with the deck this time. Before I was trying to play Punk, and now we're trying to play Adventure. And I think the theory is behind it, but I think moving forward, playing Tri-Brigade Spright will be really strong because I came to realize that Revolt gives you a consistent way to beat Dark Ruler No More. So I think that's kind of the goo. So I'm leaking the goo. It's Tri-Brigade Spright. But thank you guys so much for watching, and please let me know if you have any questions in the comments below. Thank you. Bye-bye.